What is up, guys? Diversity Double Shot here, and today I'm going to be talking with you guys about some Star Wars conspiracies that have been going around the Star Wars community for a little while now. I'm going to be talking with you guys about Mace Windu actually being alive and in the new trilogies, and the fact that Mace Windu himself could in fact be Supreme Leader Snoke. So let's go ahead and jump right on into the conspiracy. Now, starting off, let's talk about Mace Windu not actually dying at the end of Revenge of the Sith, and the fact that he is still alive and in the new trilogy. Let's start with the fact that Mace Windu got his hand cut off by Anakin when Mace Windu versed Emperor Palpatine, and everyone knows that getting your hand cut off in Star Wars has never been a fatal injury. Dozens of Jedi have lost their hands in battle and been able to pretty much fully recover from it and get themselves a mechanical hand in place of their old hand and still be able to fight with their lightsaber. Now, second, Mace Windu was hit with the full power of the Force Lightning. While this would clearly injure and scar him, it would definitely not kill him. This was clearly shown when Mace Windu makes a grunting sound as he's being thrown out of the window. So we know he's still alive after being hit with the Force Lightning. Also, no Jedi has ever been killed by the Force Lightning. Palpatine hit Luke Skywalker and Yoda with the Force Lightning and didn't kill either of them. Count Dooku also hit Anakin with the Force Lightning and Anakin did not die. And even when the full power of the Force Lightning was deflected back at Emperor Palpatine, he didn't die either. He pretty much just became very decrepit and his skin turned to a palish color and he began getting scars all over his face, and it pretty much just messed up his face a bunch. Lastly, Mace Windu was thrown out of a window and falls from a great height. But as we've all seen, Jedi can fall from great heights and still be perfectly fine afterwards. In fact, no Jedi has ever died from a fall, and Jedi have fallen from much higher distances than Mace Windu actually did, and have been perfectly fine afterwards. Now, you might be thinking, Snoke looks nothing like Mace Windu. He's old, he has ghostly white skin, and he has scars all over him. But when you think about it, that's exactly how Mace Windu would look after all the things that have happened to him in his past. The first being hit with the full power of the Force Lightning, and when the exact same lightning was deflected back at Palpatine, Palpatine's skin basically turned to a ghostly white color, and he was severely scarred all over his face, and he definitely got severely damaged by it. Snoke even looks very old, and he has even said that he has seen the Galactic Empire rise and then fall. So he has been alive since the prequels, which makes sense if he was Mace Windu. And as for Mace Windu's hand, he would clearly have a lifelike mechanical hand, just like past Jedi. Now, before we get into Mace Windu's motives, you guys should know that he is not as good and innocent as you might think. In fact, Mace Windu uses more of the dark side than any other Jedi, and Mace Windu uses a purple lightsaber. Along with it being cool, purple lightsabers pretty much symbolize the balance between the dark side and the light side of the Force. Pretty much red and blue mixed together makes purple. Mace Windu is one of the only Jedi to use Vape Pad, a Force state of mind that allows the user to channel his own inner darkness into a duel. Now, this means that Mace Windu fights only using the dark side of the Force, but he tries to control it and balance it so it does not take over. You can definitely see this in how he fights, because he cuts off Jango Fett's head and is about to kill Senator Palpatine even when it is not the Jedi way. And Snoke himself is very obsessed with the balance of the dark and the light side of the Force. Snoke even specifically chooses to train Ben Solo because Ben Solo also has both the dark and the light side of the Force in him. Snoke even states this in both the trailer for The Force Awakens and the official Force Awakens novel. So if Snoke is in fact Mace Windu, he could see himself in Kylo Ren, since they both have the dark and the light side of the Force in them. So now we come to the conclusion and the question of why Mace Windu would in fact change from the light side of the Force to the dark side. Well, as was pretty much already stated, Mace Windu is already delicately balancing between the light and the dark side of the Force, and all it would take is a strong push to send him to either side. Now this push could in fact be Anakin Skywalker actually betraying Mace Windu and cutting off his hand, also allowing Senator Palpatine to hit him with the full power of the Force lightning, which pretty much scarred him and almost killed him. Now, Mace Windu would also very strongly dislike the Skywalkers due to Anakin betraying him, so this could be one of the main reasons why he actually wants to find Luke Skywalker so bad and pretty much kill him, so he cuts off the Skywalker bloodline. Another theory that is going around is the fact that Mace Windu in fact thinks he himself is the chosen one. And this theory pretty much explains why Mace Windu dislikes Anakin and pretty much the whole Skywalker family so much. But I'll talk about that in another video. But Mace Windu could in fact still think he is the chosen one, and he wants to go ahead and kill the remaining Skywalkers just because Anakin in fact betrayed him back in the prequels. Now even Han Solo knows that Snoke plans on killing Kylo Ren, who is also a Skywalker relative, and this is pretty much going to happen after Snoke is done abusing Kylo Ren's powers and pretty much just using him for his powers. Now, Mace Windu, like most other Star Wars characters, has his own signature lightsaber move. It's a move that makes him unique, and we see him using it in every fight. This move is a backswing slicing move. He uses it to cut off Jango Fett's head, and he uses it multiple times fighting Palpatine. Now there is actually one other Star Wars character that we see using that move, and that is Kylo Ren. We see Kylo Ren using the backswing slicing move in The Force Awakens when he is fighting Rey. In fact, he uses it about 3 times whenever he is fighting Rey. So why would Kylo Ren be using Mace Windu's signature move? Well, I'm guessing it's because Mace Windu indeed is Snoke, and he taught Kylo Ren when he was training him how to actually use that move to his advantage. One of the most interesting things about this theory points to Finn, and Finn actually could possibly be the son of Mace Windu or Snoke himself. Now before getting into this, you guys need to know that Finn is definitely Force sensitive. First, when Snoke says to Kylo Ren, "There's been an awakening, have you felt it?" he's not actually talking about the Force awakening in Rey, he's actually talking about the Force awakening in Finn. He is specifically talking about the moment when Finn decides to change to the light side during the battle on Jakku. This scene happens way before Rey even shows any Force abilities at all. The only thing that happens before Snoke says there has been an awakening is the fact that Finn stopped fighting for the First Order and he decided to go to the light side of the Force. Now even Kylo Ren noticed the Force awakening in him when he glared at him on Jakku. Now Finn helped Poe escape, and he helped Rey and BB-8 escape as well. And there are actually a lot more reasons, but I'm not going to go ahead and talk about all of them in this video. I'll save that for another video. But since Finn is sensitive to the Force, it most likely means that his parents are sensitive to the Force as well. And if Mace Windu is still alive, it makes sense for him to be Finn's father. Now, it could be that Finn did not portray as much potential with the Force as a child, so Snoke basically disowned Finn and searched for a child that was gifted in the Force, like Ben Solo. But he didn't want to completely abandon Finn, so he pretty much let Finn serve as a trooper in the First Order army. And who better to look after him than Snoke's new apprentice, Kylo Ren. Now this would explain why Finn's first mission is such a high-profile mission going to Jakku with Kylo Ren, and it is stated later on in the movie that Finn was a sanitation worker in his previous years. So it's a little interesting why he would be out on a high-end mission with Kylo Ren. I just think that's a little suspicious. Now this also explains why when Finn decides not to fight for the First Order anymore and is standing on the battlefield of Jakku, Kylo suspiciously glares at him before going onto his ship. Kylo Ren noticed the Force awaken in him at that moment. It also explains later on why Kylo Ren is told that a stormtrooper helped Poe escape, and he pretty much instantly knows that the stormtrooper FN-2187, or Finn, was the one that actually helped him escape. Not only that, but the movie seems to really focus on Finn's betrayal. When the shock trooper angrily calls him a traitor and tries to kill him, and at the end of the movie, when Kylo Ren and Finn finally meet, Kylo Ren is very upset about Finn's betrayal and seems to take it really personally. But when Kylo Ren fights Finn, he decides to toy with him and not really hurt him that much. But when Finn finally hits Kylo, Kylo decides to punch him and basically cut his back. Instead of killing him, he just pretty much knocked him out and hurt him a little bit. So that pretty much shows that he is of some importance. Now, Kylo Ren killed his own father, slaughtered the old man at the beginning of the movie, and he has a table full of ashes of the people that he's actually killed. But he decides to keep Finn alive because Finn is important to both Snoke and the dark side of the Force as a whole. So that's pretty much my theory right there. I pretty much gathered that from a lot of different things that I've seen over on other YouTube channels, read in different articles, heard from different people in the Star Wars community. Pretty much just a mass majority of opinions. I put them all together for you guys, so hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, definitely feel free to leave a like, as well as hit that subscribe button down below. I'm going to be making some more conspiracy videos as far as Star Wars goes, because there are a couple other things I want to talk about. I did mention them in this video, and I also want to talk about Rey's family, and I also want to talk about Jar Jar Binks as well, because there are a lot of conspiracies going around about them too. So with all that being said, like I said, thanks for watching. If you guys did like it, hit the like button as well as subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.